Whenever I arrived at my grandmother's house, there was always something delicious cooking on the stove, and she always seemed ready to feed passers-by or anyone that came to the house. Her chicken curry, plantain, and coleslaw was legendary. Now, I think it's quite hard to improve on something so perfect, but I'm going to try to do the next best thing and cook it over charcoal. First, we're going to make our sauce. Got some allspice. Going to use a teaspoon, 3 teaspoons of curry powder, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Oh. Now, I'm just going to put this cast iron on the grill. Of course, you can use your hob at home, but anything you can cook inside, you can cook outside, just better. I'm going to give this garlic a nice crush and a rough mincing. I'm going to use about a thumb-sized piece of ginger. Dice this ginger up. And a nice chilli. And if you want your curry a bit milder, just take out the seeds. You might want to give your hands a wash when touching chilies like this. And trust me when I say, don't touch your eye. And get some coriander stalk. Sometimes people throw it away, but it adds another layer of freshness to the base of your sauce. Now, just like your hob at home, you can turn up the gas. You can do the same with your charcoal. If you need a bit of heat, just move the charcoal to where you need it. I'm gonna try hold my hand here for about 5 seconds, and that for me is the perfect medium heat. That's where our cast iron's gonna go. Into that, I'm just gonna add some olive oil. Just enough to cover the base of the pan. And to flavor our oil, some bay leaves. Lovely. Now, if your pot gets too hot, all you gotta do is just move it away from the charcoal. Try find that sweet spot. Now, little trick for you. A good way to see if your oil is hot enough, throw in 1 piece of your garlic, chili, or ginger. See if it starts to bubble. That looks like a good cooking temperature. So I'm gonna add our aromatics. Now, at this point, what we're trying to do is flavor the oil. We've got our beautiful ginger, we've got the garlic, we've got the bay leaves, and we've got our coriander stem. It's just gonna add a magnificent layer of depth to our curry. Now, I'm just gonna let this cook for about 2 minutes, just to soften it down. And I'm gonna add 1 whole onion. Now, if it starts to cool down, don't be afraid to move it around. Back on the heat, keep moving it around until you can hear that sizzle. I'm just gonna go in with a bit of lime zest. Give it that citrusy flavor. Now time for my favorite ingredient, knob of butter, some salt and pepper. Now here is my trick with this curry. Just before your butter has started to melt fully, this is when you're going to add your spice mix. I like to do this so the spice mixes with the fat and gets to every single spoonful. And now for the secret weapon, my grandmother's hot sauce. Now, if like me, you can't perfect the recipe, just use your favorite hot sauce. This just takes me back to entering my granny's front door, where you're just hit with a stampede of flavors, fragrances, and aromas. It just makes me feel like I'm 9 years old again. To combine all those beautiful flavors, I'm using a full can of coconut milk. All right, that's starting to smell amazing. Now I'm just gonna leave it simmer for about 30 minutes while I start my plantain. Now, a lot of the ingredients I'm using you can find in your local supermarket, but there are some ingredients it's so worth going out of your way to find. These are plantain, and they look like bananas, but they're more similar to a potato. If you can't find them, you can use the sweet potato. So I'm just gonna cut a line down the center so the heat penetrates. I'm just gonna leave them directly on the coals. Now, for our chicken, I'm not gonna do too much to it. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of salt and a drizzle of olive oil. It's just so it doesn't stick to the grill. I like to use 2 skewers, and it's so much easier to hold, manage, and move around the grill. Ready to go. Now I'm gonna put these chicken thighs directly on the coals. Now you're gonna have to pay attention when you put anything directly on the coals, because it can get quite hot and singe your food. But don't be afraid to move it around. We're just trying to get that beautiful barbecue char. I'm just gonna give my hands a quick wash. Now, I'm gonna check on our chicken. Give it a little turn. Add a little pinch of our beautiful spice mix. My last meal on earth is gonna be a plantain. It's just so versatile. Fry it, mash it, boil it, put it on the barbecue. You can do anything with it. Now, our chicken, beautifully crispy. Our sauce has just thickened slightly. And our plantains are nice and squidgy. We'll leave that for a second and move on to our coleslaw. Really, really simple ingredients. Always roll your lime, get all the juice out. I always like to season my liquid first. A little pinch of salt, dash of pepper. I'm gonna go in with our spring onions. Nice and fine. With the intensity of the curry, just that little bit of heat in the background, it's a perfect little side to cool down your mouth. Let's go in our carrot, straight into the bowl. Always a little bit of rhythm in the kitchen. And now for our cabbage. It gets the same treatment as the carrot. Now to bind it all together, 3 big dolloping spoons of mayonnaise. Just simple coleslaw. Now, time to serve. Some lovely naan bread. Coleslaw is looking nice and fresh. And our curry has become nice and thick. And our crispy grilled chicken. Always like to waken it up with a bit of lime juice and some fresh coriander. And of course, our grilled plantains. Just to finish off, a little bit of salt and some pepper. I mean, it looks good to me, but does it stand up to Granny's? Let her be the judge of that. Looks all right, doesn't it?
That looks lovely. I hope it tastes good.
Well, there's one way to find out. Have a little bite.
Very nice. I didn't know you could cook so well, Nicholas. You surprised me. I don't think he's stealing my recipe. He's just carry on with the tradition. He always enjoys my cooking, and I'm pleased about that.